Thanks for making the journey.
It wasn't that far.
Yeah.
It's cold, but it's not that far.
It was a short drive from Disgusta to Smeldorado, right?
That's right. You know, they say flush twice. It's a long ways to El Dorado, right? That's what they say. No, El Dorado is a great town.
Yeah.
Augusta's got problems, but hey,
we're
getting there. You know, it's kind of a cool little town. So
got some things happening downtown.
I'm a Rose Hill guy. I grew up in Rose Hill, but you know, I spend a lot of time. I live in Augusta now, and I've honestly spent a lot of time in El Dorado too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, guys, I'm Samuel McVeigh with the Killer Growth Podcast, and today I have Zach Dinicola.
Yeah, you said it right. I always tell people I've been called worse, so you're not going to offend me. But yeah.
Zach Dinicola, founder of Mr. Mixer, and really glad you're here. I'm not gonna fanboy out.
You can,
but
it's all right.
I'm a huge fan. I saw your stuff and didn't know you were local.
Sure.
And that's super cool.
Yeah,
when you see somebody putting out great content, getting just awesome interactions. And so I was just like, there's no way. And then we start this podcast 2 months ago, and I DM'd you guys on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it had to come off so spammy. It's like, will you be a guest on my podcast?
When was it?
I don't know.
Was it just a couple months ago?
Yeah. It was
I haven't looked at Facebook messages since October.
I bet you get a lot.
Well, we have so many phone calls and emails every day I have not looked at any
I didn't
direct
expect
messages.
a response because it just again felt spammy. No context, no really come be on our podcast.
How rude of me! How rude of me!
No.
I wasn't snubbing you. I haven't seen it yet. So
I'm not calling you out. I just know you're that important.
I like to do stuff like this,
okay,
right?
Cool.
I'm here for it, and sometimes if someone wants me to travel halfway across the U.S. to do it, it's like,
but better be some good publicity.
You're a hop and a skip down the road.
Two flushes away.
Yeah. No, I'm here for it. So
that's perfect. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. No, don't be sorry. It worked out great. My brother was talking to you.
Yeah.
And I walked in and he said, hey, I'm talking to Zach, Mr. Mixer, about cardboard stuff.
Sure.
You guys are, both have cardboard you've got to figure out. And so he goes, I'm like, can you text him an intro for me? He's like, and then you responded immediately.
Funny story, by the way. We single-handedly have become the cardboard recycling facility of Augusta.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So they don't, Augusta does not have any recycling whatsoever. We have a machine that shreds the cardboard down into a netting, for dunnage to fill voids, right? Bubble wraps. Really expensive.
It's so expensive.
Very expensive.
So are you going to sell my brother some shredded cardboard? Do you have a surplus?
Yeah,
you should.
Yes, we're getting there.
Okay.
We're moving from Augusta though. So
okay.
Yeah, so we're going to lose that.
TBD.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes, but
good to know. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you guys connected.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people doing a lot of online stuff in the county, so it's fun to find peers.
Which is surprising.
I know.
In the digital age.
And we're in the middle of America. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
We can ship anywhere without a crazy rate increase. West Coast, East Coast, that's a big...
It is.
Right, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
We're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. All right.
The world's longest podcast. Let's go.
Let's do it. Start a record.
Yeah.
Google it, Tyler. What is it?
Yeah.
What's the longest one? We're coming for you. It's probably in Guinness Book World Record. What a terrible one to set. There's got to be some rules about that because you can't just sit there and go to sleep.
Yeah,
and it's recording.
One of us has to stay awake.
One.
As long as one's
That'd be
awake.
A good rule as long as one. Yeah. All right. So we start off real easy. I just want to know Zach's story, starting around college age to what brought you to where you're at today.
Yeah, I can do that. So I come from humble beginnings. Not really. I did hood rat things with my hood rat friends. Got out of high school, I was like, what am I going to do with my life, right? School doesn't prepare you for the real world. It's like, bend over, no lube, here we go, right? And so I just wound up in the medical field, right? I was like, I want to be a doctor. Okay. I go to Wichita State for a while. Just was not, university just wasn't the place for me, right? And so I ended up as a street medic. So yeah, I was a paramedic for about 5 years. So they say in paramedicine. They say you either go for about 5 years or you're a lifer, right? And I put in my 5 years and out. Rough life.
Yeah.
Rough life. Long hours. Terrible
I can't watch
pay.
TV shows that are about that, let alone imagine.
I used to have that like mental barrier when I was working. Like I could do it, and now I see it, and I'm just like, no. My wife will always be, look at this guy break his leg, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see that anymore. So yeah, I did that for a while, got out of it. Prior to that, though, I worked at an auction company. So yeah, I worked every weekend from the time I was about 13 till I was about 20. At an auction company.
What was the auction company?
It was Swinson Auction. It was out of Rose Hill. He's
Like
since,
personal auctions?
Yeah,
Cool.
like they did some real estate, but a lot of like personal belongings, farm auctions, things like that. And I just see naturally so many things sell that I'm just like the value guy. Like you could just like I have people call me, they're like, hey, I have this thing that I want to sell. How much should I charge for it? I just know. You
got a
know?
gut.
I've seen it stuff sell.
Yeah.
I know what it goes for.
Well, 7 years being around personal auctions,
Yeah.
you learn a lot.
Yeah. So I ended up taking that over into the paramedic stuff. You know, like I said, we don't get paid that much. So I was doing like a lot of buy sell trade. I would just go to other auctions. I would go to yard sales, estate sales, and I would just find things that I could flip to cover my mortgage, you know?
Yeah.
And so
Were you a paramedic at this time?
I was,
well?
yeah.
Okay.
I was a paramedic at this time. So I got through that. You know, I got through the paramedic stuff. I got my wife through grad school. She became a speech language pathologist. So,
Nice. Tyler's wife's
yeah, so
exactly
so
that.
you know, it sounds like a really prestigious title, but the pay really also isn't like super great. Yeah, it's not. So it's one of those things to where still very like humble, right? But it was like she allowed me to get to where I am because she did the honey. I trust you to do this thing. I know you want to focus on this mixer thing. I trust you to do it. I'm going to take care of like the household bills. And so she allowed me to like just sit in a garage and fiddle. Yeah. So it was really cool. I'm getting ahead of myself. Though.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go back. Sorry, we got excited.
Yeah, we did get excited.
Shared experience right here.
Let's take a step back. So, you know, I hit a yard sale, maybe like 2016, probably a decade ago, right? And I find this mixer, and it's at like a church sale in like a parking lot. So there's no power, no way to test it. People swear up and down, like, yeah, it works. So I'm like, a mixer for $20, like score, right? It didn't work. No, I was scorned. You know, I said, I'm going to fix this thing, right? So I went to fix it, and I went on YouTube and I went online, and it's like, man, there's no tutorials. And if there are, it's people like muddling their way through these repairs, right? I think this thingy goes here and it looks like it does this. And so I was like, okay, that's not great. I found some decent information on some forums, but what an outdated way to like take in information, right? And I'm not talking like Reddit. I'm talking like...
Yeah, it's like some blog on a non-active website.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And so it's like, okay. Anyways, I fixed it. I sold it, and I bought 2 more broken mixers with that money. So that's all I did. I was like buying broken ones, fixing them, selling them, buying broken ones. And you know, after I got, I don't know, 30 or 40 under my belt, I said, well, there's got to be people who have these who want them fixed, right? Like if they're selling broken mixers,
if they're worth something broken,
yeah, there's got to be
Pretty
something
good logic.
there, right? Except for I was in Hays, Kansas, right? So kind of small town, and I started advertising my services, but there's only like 30,000 people out in Ellis County, right? Not a huge county. But I did. I ended up picking up like a handful of repairs. And one of the first repairs that I picked up, this lady brings it to me. I fix it. And when I give it back to her, she's bawling.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, what did I do? Like,
you scratched it.
show me
There's
on
a big
show me on the
scratch.
doll where I touched you. I don't. What's going on here? All right, like did I hurt? Like, and she breaks down in front of me and she says, "My husband gave this to me for one of our anniversaries. He passed away, and when I broke this thing, I thought that tie was severed." She says it's one of the last things I have from our marriage. I thought I had lost that bond, and you gave that back to me. And Yeah, right.
That'll preach.
It hit me right in the feels, and I was like, oh my gosh, and it was good in the moment, but then I also had time to process it, and I'm like, there's millions and millions of these mixers out here, and you get them for big events, you get them for weddings, you get them for anniversaries and birthday presents, and sometimes it's just your first big purchase when you move out into your own, apartment or house. Like, it's like, treat yourself and you get a mixer. Yeah. And so there's a lot of meaning to that. And over time in repairing them, I found that, like, since they last so long, or used to last so long, we've seen some quality changes, but these mixers are handed down.
Yeah.
I've worked on like 4th and 5th generation mixers.
That's
like
crazy.
Great Gam gave this to Gam who gave it to G-Ma. And like, literally, it's just like they give me a list, and like it ends up at like the great granddaughter. And, sometimes they're still running. Sometimes they're broken, right? But they're just like, right. I want this serviced. I want this fixed, because I grew up every summer in grandma's kitchen baking with her, right? It's like a family heirloom at this point.
Right.
And so
timestamp for me so I can keep, because I'm really curious. So you're in Hayes.
Right.
How did they find you?
So Hayes, right? I get that first customer who
did you post on Facebook?
Like, I was posting on Facebook. I was posting on Facebook and Instagram.
Was it called Mr. Mixer?
It was not. Okay. No, I was just like, hey, I fixed some KitchenAids, right? Fast forward a little bit, right? It's very slow at this point, right? I am still flipping them. I'm still getting, I don't know, maybe a couple people a month, maybe. Moved back to Wichita.
Okay.
Get back to Wichita, and I hit Andover, actually. I hit every single brick and mortar when I moved back to Andover. I walk into every bakery, every culinary institute, colleges, everything. And I say, this is who I am. This is what I do. And it was still pretty slow. It was like, I think the Butler County College, their culinary took a chance. They let us fix like 8 or 10 of their mixers or something. A few bakeries here and there let us do some of their mixers. But then I walked into a place called Cake Stuff, and they're no longer around. It's a mid-level baking supply company on the west side. And I walked in and I said, God, every single person that shops here has a mixer. Right? I said, I have to get in this place. And so I walk up to the owner and I'm like, listen, here's who I am. This is what I do. I want to fix yours and every single one of your employees' like personal mixers to show you what I can do. And then all I want is to put a card and like a little flyer on your front counter, right? And I did it. I came in there, set up a little pop-up table, fixed all their mixers, and they let me do it. I started picking more up, but it's still very slow at this point, right? I'm talking maybe now we're getting like, instead of 2 a month, 2 a week, right? So slow. People are looking at me like, my mom's like, well, maybe you need to go back to school. My brother, you need to get your degree. My in-laws are looking at me like, are you really going to be able to support our daughter on a mixer fixer salary? Yeah, eat crow. No, I'm just kidding. They had questions, right? And it's not because they didn't think I could do it. Oftentimes the people who are closest to you in life, like they want what's best for you. And
it's just hard to communicate that sometimes.
And sometimes a lot of people think what's best is the traditional pathway through life, right? But I'm like I march by the beat of my own drum. And so I was like, no, I'm going to fix mixers, right? They were like, oh, at least keep your licensure for paramedics. No, I'm burning that bridge. Where's the gas? Where's the match? I don't want any excuses, right? I don't want anything to fall back on. No excuses. If I don't do this, it's on me. So I keep moving down the line here, and just right at the start of all of the COVID stuff, right? Like, it was the perfect storm. People were at restaurants were closed down, right? People were at home from work. Everybody was like on their phones more. TikTok was just like coming up, right? And so I hear people talking about it. I'm like, yeah, let's see what all the kids are talking about, right? So I download TikTok, and I bet I produced maybe like 6 or 8 videos, and a lot of them were just like little stupid things about like my own personal life. But I just said, I'm going to make this for the business, right? And so
Was the business called Mr. Mixer at this point?
it was at this point.
Okay,
It was,
okay.
yeah, just freshly minted.
Okay.
So yeah, I go ahead and make a video here, and it's just one of the most common issues that I had noticed for mixers that are coming in, right? And so I just made a video. Boom, it hit overnight. I think over 1 million views, 30,000 followers, and I was just like, here we go.
Buckle up.
Yeah. I was like, this is our in right here. So the whole very next day, me and currently my IT guy, which is a good friend, right? He was been around since the beginning. He helped me build a website, and we just added some products on there for like the simple services for the DIY videos. We started making a bunch of DIY videos and posting those out to YouTube, and then doing like short format stuff on TikTok. And the rest, they say, is as history. It's history. Has not been like, that's not an overnight success, right?
Sure.
Like, I worked very, very hard, and I have worked very, very hard since then, right? This is 5 years ago.
Yep.
And in the last 5 years, I have had many, many sleepless nights, but I don't think I would change a thing. Yeah.
So takes off on TikTok.
Yeah.
You build the website, and now let's go into the model, because
Right.
I'm very curious about that. They go to because you were doing the DIY
Sure.
stuff, but now it's like, okay, now it's a business,
Uh-huh.
and I want to service everyone across the country out of Augusta, Kansas.
So we still weren't there yet, right?
Right.
So this is like this is purely like DIY. This
Got
is
it.
purely like
Content building.
I'm making these videos. I'm teaching people about these common issues. I have a small drawer full of parts, like literally a pull-out drawer in a desk. That was
Yeah.
like my part supply.
And why were you putting that content out in the first place?
Because I knew that there was a need for repair, and I knew that I couldn't, at the time, I was like, man, there's no way. These things are heavy. Like, I'm not going to be able to service people all around the world or across the nation. So I want to get them the parts and show them how to do it.
So then you would sell maybe parts,
Right.
was the model.
Parts, supplies,
Yep.
The grease, the gaskets, all that stuff, right? And so I slowly start adding parts and supplies to this website, and every time I would add a part, I would make a video around, this is why, this is how you replace said part. 250 SKUs later or something, here we are. Yeah, we got a lot of content, and there's still so much. It's hard to believe that someone can make content every day for 5 years and still not have touched on like
About a mixer.
everything. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. So it's has been absolutely wild. But so I did that. So I started doing the DIY, and then eventually people were saying, well, I don't want to do this, right?
America.
Yeah, exactly. There's still a lot of people who DIY. There are.
yeah.
Like we move a lot of product online, parts and supplies and things like that. But there are a lot of people who also say, this is too tough for me. I don't want to do it. I want to send it to the professional. And so then I went down that road, right? I started saying, okay, send them in, right? And that is a rough start, like you're sending these machines that weigh 30 pounds, right? You don't have any I had no connections with any shipping services or anything. So I'm like, well, just mail them in via the post office, right? And the post office is the most expensive place to ship.
I'm curious, sorry to cut you off, but at the beginning, did you even know they were coming?
I did.
So they had to do something before they could mail it to you?
Well,
or did some people just mail them to you?
But not really, though. I did, but I didn't, right? Like, it was like, hey, send me an email and I'll give you my address type thing.
Got it. Then you go back to try and find that email.
And then eventually we just like listed the address. Like, once we got to the point to where we were controlling, right? We made it to where you have to buy a label from our website, right? So we know who you are, that your mixer is coming, right?
Did they exchange the Genesis, like the beta version? Did they exchange money with you before they shipped it, or did they ship it?
No, they would just ship it. I would fix it, and then I would send them like a QuickBooks invoice type thing.
Got it. And if they didn't pay, you kept the mixer.
Yeah, it's only happened a couple times.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Keep going on the beta.
People.
Yeah.
Hey, I gave him like 6 months to pay. All right.
Right.
Come on.
That's long enough.
So yeah, I people start sending this stuff in. Eventually, I say, okay, I have to like figure this out. Right.
What were the quantities like at the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, like 3 or 5 a week or something like that. And so I go ahead and right about that time, like all of your Shippos and your pirate ship and all of these like shipping platforms start to come into play, right? And so I was like, okay, I know that I can purchase a label and I know it's going to cost me X amount to ship. I don't really make money on shipping. It's about a break even for me. And so what I would do is I would say, hey, you can buy this label from our website. It's $50, right? We will then send you a label, right? You buy it. I use the information to create a label. I email that to you. You send it in. And so we did that for a while, and that continued to pick up steam. And this has taken us to maybe like 2022, maybe. And then all hell breaks loose, right? The Andover tornado hits, destroys my house. Luckily, my garage was a cinder brick garage, but my house, gone.
Where were you when it hit the house?
McDonald's. I was in a drive-through, and that's
like just getting food.
So I always tell people,
Did you hear the sirens?
No,
or?
there was it hit my house before the sirens came.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
I'm about 8 miles from my house, right? I think we were at 21st and Greenwich. There's a McDonald's right on that corner. I tell people this is the only time that McDonald's has saved somebody's life. Usually it's like a slow cardiovascular death, right? But no, I'm like, man, I want a cheeseburger, right? I'm in the line, and as I'm pulling out of the drive-thru, I'm like patting my wife. I'm like, there's a tornado, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, like, and then I go, well, man, looks like it's right on top of our house, right? Sure enough.
Gosh.
Yeah,
dang.
sure enough. We had a 2-year-old and a 2-week-old baby.
Oh my.
Yes. And so tornado, boom, destroys the house. Wow. We pull up over there and just almost everything we own gone. Luckily, silver lining, the shop is fine.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, because we probably have 12 or 15 or 18 mixers in there that are, like we've established, potentially family heirlooms, right?
Oh, right?
Like, how do you replace something like that? Luckily, we didn't have to, right? So we then, are scrambling. It's like, okay, we have to find a place to rent. We're competing with, 250 other families who just got displaced, right? And it's like we got evicted overnight.
Right.
And so we're couch surfing. I'm trying to find a way to like keep the business afloat while we're doing this. So
yeah.
I end up picking up like a generator that I'm like using to power.
To keep running your garage.
Yeah, because it's like I don't have a place to move.
What year was
all
that?
This stuff? This was 2022, I think. April.
That sounds right.
April 2022. Yeah, I had just, I just recently moved up from my basement. Like that's where I kind of started everything. I moved out to the garage, and lucky I did. I'm glad I did.
No kidding.
But yeah, it was a wild ride. But that led us to, we moved into a rental house. We used that garage for a while, and then eventually got my first little commercial space, which was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's one of those things when you go from being in your garage to having a commercial space, and it wasn't much, like 400 square foot garage to a 1,200 square foot commercial space. It's like, that scene from Step Brothers where like, there's so much room for activity, right? I'm doing jumping jacks and I'm like, oh, this place is great. Like we're going to be able to grow so much. Like 3 months later, full.
Yeah.
Done. And I'm like,
describe that feeling though. You went from your garage to like you actually have a commercial address. Does that feel pretty legit?
Yeah. So that's when it really starts to hit home that it's like this is real, right? Like before, it's like I'm just playing in a garage, and even though listen,
making some money,
we were already putting up numbers in the garage, right? Like we were doing very well, and it was great. It just wasn't enough space, and my consumer base. I do not force growth. My customers tell me how fast they want me to grow, and so they said it's time. Get out of the garage. Go get over here, and found a nice little place. The rent was cheap. It was more space. It was nice, and I was there for, like I said, about 6 months or so, and we outgrew it. But there was two. It was 2 units, so we ended up taking the other unit, right?
Like a shared wall.
Yeah. So we ended up taking the other unit, and here I am thinking like, okay, we're doubling our space. We ought to get, we ought to be able to grow quite a bit. And so my dumbass signs a 3-year lease. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. No, the next, like 10 months later or something, we're like
busting up
maxed out again. Yeah. It's like, oh man, we gotta move again. And then we bought a place.
Nice.
Right. So I bought my first place, and it's like, yeah, this is great. Right. We're renting. Now we're owning. Right. And it's like, yeah, we're doing names. We're taking names and kicking ass. Like, let's do it. And I buy this place. I didn't pay a ton for it. Got a good deal on it. But we swore up and down. We're like, yeah, we're going to get like 3 years out of this place. That was last February.
Oh.
And we are scrambling to find a new location, which we have. We've nailed down a new location, but I've just come to terms with the fact that I need to quit playing it safe, and I need to take off. I need to just take a big bite.
Yeah.
They say the best way to become successful is to take a bite too big for you to chew, and then figure out how to chew it. So that's what I'm doing. It's like I need square footage. I need space. I think we'll have a need for at least 30,000 square foot in the next couple of years. So
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
So yeah, I have so many questions. I think everybody should understand your growth process as far as the organic growth.
Sure.
It's all social media and you putting out content. How often did you start putting out content?
So I for a long time tried to do every day, right? But then once you start getting busy, like it's
right. It's tough.
I'm in the work, right? Like, and my whole goal since I started doing this is to figure out how to work on the business, not in the business, right? If I'm not in front of a camera, I am wasting time. I am. Everybody knows it. So all of my employees are like, we got to find a way to get you in front of that camera. You're the one making the sales. You're the ones bringing in the business. And anytime that you're like packing orders or answering the phone, which don't get me wrong, I still love to do stuff like that, right? I'm never going to be like an absentee owner. I like to keep my hands in the sawdust per se, right? And I also like even answering phones, right? It's like almost every person that calls is like, are you the guy?
Yeah.
And I always hear, some of my employees be like, no, I'm not, but I can help you. And you could just tell the excitement when these people call, right? Like there's we're doing things differently, right? There's a level of, and I hate to say it because I'm just a regular guy, right? But like, there's a hint of like, people are like, oh, you're famous. And I'm like, no, I'm fame-ish, right?
Sure.
Like, but there's, I don't know, this certain level of excitement that people get when they get to actually see me in person or talk to me on the phone. And I have people say, it's like, oh, I feel like I'm talking to someone famous. And I'm like, keep talking. My head's not going to fit through the door on the way home. Tell my wife I'm going to be late. I got to call the fire department to cut a hole in the wall. But no, I mean, it's great.
The brand identity. I mean, everything is built around those videos.
Right.
And so for context, for those of you, please go follow Mr. Mixer. But you're right at 1 million followers on TikTok. I think I saw close to 300,000 on Facebook. What other platforms are you on with substantial? Instagram, probably.
It's Instagram. I think we have close to 200, and then we actually just recently rolled over 100,000 on YouTube. So we got our silver play button. That felt really good because that's basically where we like started it all at.
Really,
and it was the hardest to grow.
It is hard to grow.
Very hard to grow. But yeah, we just rolled over that. So I think
it's crazy.
Again, I don't do the videos for like vanity.
Sure.
Right.
No,
and
you entertain.
Yeah.
And you talk about product.
I have
product authority.
I have fun doing it and I enjoy doing it and I'm helping a lot of people doing it. But like when people are like, oh, how many followers? I don't know how many. I really don't know. Yeah. If I had to guess, I would say between all of my platforms, maybe like 1.5 or 1.6 million, which it's cool. Like I'm very proud of where I am, you know, from where I started. And
have you ever spent $1 on an ad?
So I have, mostly just for fun, right? Like I did a few little like promoting like Facebook videos. I just wanted to see what it was. I'd never done it. And then I do have a company that just maybe like April or May of last year had reached out, and I'm letting them do some like Google ads type stuff for like not necessarily for service, but for just like parts, right?
For products.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And so it's very hard for me to do that because they'll come back and they'll have like a monthly report. And it's like, oh, we smashed the metrics. We did 1,200 ROAS, right? And it's like, that's great. Can you tell me how much of that you brought in? Because I just did 10 million video views last week.
Right.
So that explains that to me. Can you tell me what you actually did for me?
Yeah.
And they often can't really tell me, but I do feel like even if it's only a little bit, there is still a return there. And I think that there is value in that.
Especially on the retargeting, recapturing side, I would say. I could see a lot of benefit for brand protection for you.
Right.
Because there's going to be people sabotaging your brand at some point.
So one of the things that I think it makes sense to do some paid ads for and own some of those keywords is like there are other people who offer mixer parts, right?
Right.
And they are leveraging my content against me.
How
they
so?
They are. Well, I mean, they're
bringing product to market. They want it. You've proven that it's a validated.
Listen, my stuff is more like there are places who offer the same product that I offer cheaper than what I offer, right? But the difference is I am not selling you a part. I am selling you a white glove service, an experience, right? Like I walk you from, oh shit, I just broke my mixer to here is a diagnostic, right? Send us a video. Let us listen to it. Here's what we think is wrong with it. Here's a video that walks you through every step of the way. Here are all of the parts that you need. Here, we walk them through step by step by step. We hold their hand. They order the parts. They fix it. And if they have issue with the repair, we help them with after sales service and say, okay, we think this is what you did wrong, or take a look at this.
So if I buy a part from you, you have a call center I can call in and get tech support.
Yes. Calls and emails. Yep.
How busy is that line?
Busy.
And you don't charge for that.
That is why I did not answer your Facebook request because we were missing. Even today, I can
imagine.
I had someone say, I've tried to call you like 3 times and do you answer the phone? And it's like, you just got unlucky because we're missing like 30, 40, 50 calls a day.
How many calls a day are you guys getting?
I mean, it varies. Right now, probably like 30 or 40, but like over the holiday season,
phone calls. Though.
Yeah, they are. And over the holiday season, though, like which we're just coming out of that, right? And it skews everything. But we were getting hundreds of calls a day, and there's 3 of us answering the phones as fast as we can, and you can't keep up. On top of that, it's like 600, 800 emails a day coming in, like crazy.
You need Zach we need to have a call waiting AI receptionist that we train that's got all of your knowledge. That says you're going to get to these people, but we have a backlog.
Yes.
And we believe you should talk to a real person. But
yes.
I can help you troubleshoot to a certain point while you're waiting.
So I wouldn't mind that. Now I am totally against AI or automated or robotic phone call, like phone services. I get so mad when I call a company and like I'm just like press 0 for a number. I'm spamming
Directories are gone. You
Real
don't
person, give me a real person. I get so mad.
0, 0, 0.
If I ever have a stroke, like it's gonna be on the phone trying to talk to a
So
you know,
true.
it's like it drives me crazy.
It's like, think of it the cyborg effect though. It's not about getting rid of people. It's allowing your people to, providing something that's better for your customers and helps your work environment. That I think people that are figuring out that blend are going to be okay.
As long as it comes back to a real person.
100%.
Because here's the thing is there's a certain level of frustration. There's a certain amount of your customers that are just going to go away and stop bothering you because they can't get through, which is sad. That's not
either way, right?
When you're a multi-billion-dollar business and you can lose a customer, it's fine. But when you're a small guy, you want that. And for every person that is for every business that is going to succeed using AI or automation, another business is going to succeed just as well by having that personal touch.
Sure.
Because as humans, we crave that connection, you know? Like when people call me, like they really want to connect. Like it's not always just about fixing the mixer. Like sometimes they want to tell me how their Tuesday's going, right? And it's fine. Like
or what they just made with their mixer.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, you're right. Sometimes it's like, is this the best way for us to spend our time? Maybe not, but for me, like,
well, it builds the margin into your product, right?
It does.
I mean, that
it does.
Profit, like people will spend any amount of money where they think the value is greater than the money coming out of their pockets, and that's what you're creating.
Essentially, And I mean, we're kind of like a luxury type service, right? And it's like I always tell people, it's like if you have to tell people why you're a luxury service, you're not a luxury service. Like, you know, I don't have to explain this to people, and I do have a whole group of people that hate me.
Oh,
like they hate me. Yeah. So it's honestly,
tell us more.
It's funny, and I kind of troll these people sometimes. I'll talk about that too. But
you're talking people, just bots on social.
Yeah. Real NPC types, you know. No, there is a group of people out there who they see what I'm doing and they say, "Oh, I want to fix mixers too," right? They don't understand that my model is not set up to help you learn how to fix mixers and compete against me, right? Sure. Like if someone wants to come up with a B2B model of what I'm doing, great. And honestly, that's what those other like parts platforms are for, right?
Sure.
You go find the cheapest thing that you can find.
Yeah,
and
a
then
place
you
that
offer
actually is like a retailer of the product or a,
yes.
And I know that because of Charlie's Appliance here in town. We've ordered parts, you know, like back when they aren't even allowed to sell KitchenAid mixers anymore due to all their changes, but they did years ago. And they had like a part catalog they recommended if we had a problem, but we just would replace them because we didn't know about you. But that's been over for years now.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. So the B2B, a business that sells mixers, or is it an appliance store?
Yes, so they hate me.
Yeah.
They come to my platforms that I have set up specifically to like help my customers and to give information to them, and they'll try and advertise their own services. And so I have to I have to ban them, right? It's like, okay, you're banned. And they all end up, they all end up in this
digital business card to commenting on your viral videos.
Seriously, they're like, oh, I can help you. I'm so-and-so in this place. And it's like, well, first off, these A, are my customers. B, even if I wanted them to use you or was okay with that, how can I put my stamp of approval on someone who is you've learned how to do this from my videos, but I have not put all the information out there. And I know there are a ton of issues because I constantly get mixers sent to me that were fixed locally. They're like, oh yeah, I paid this local guy, and it was, when I got it back, it was worse than when I brought it to him, right? And so it's like, I can't trust that, right? No. And so in order to protect the customers on my platforms, I need to be the one to offer the information and offer the service, right?
Makes sense.
And so they hate me. And then they all end up in this one, there's another group of them. And it's like this big circle jerk fest of these guys who are like, let's get together and hate Mr. Mixer. They call me a pariah. They say that
have they like created anti Mr. Mixer channels or
they
Facebook
have
groups?
No, it's like there's like one other like Facebook group where all these people get together and they do like, and it just, it lets me know that I did the right thing because they get on there and they post what they're doing, and I see what they're doing, and I'm like, I would never do that in a million years. And they are very much like, for me, again, white glove service, super warranty everything I do, right?
Yep.
So if I fix a mixer for somebody and I send it home, if something happens in shipping, I pay out of my pocket to return that mixer to me. I fix it on my dime and I mail it back to them again.
How long is your warranty on just the repair
6 months.
itself?
6 months. And I think the traditional new mixer warranty is only a year anyways.
Yeah, it's 12 months in the first year.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
And they often try and find a way to get out of that warranty, right?
Oh, yeah.
To where I'm very much like, really no questions asked. And
it's why retailers just eat the costs normally.
Yep.
Even on major appliances, they'll just eat the costs because it's not worth fighting the manufacturer over it.
And so I bring them in. And again, we have a really good team. We do really good work. We double check. Like every mixer that we repair goes through another like QC check. Shipping isn't always like the most friendly with the mixers, right? So like we pack them really well.
But it's not you.
It's right. And so sometimes we'll have things happen, but like we have the ability to take care of our customers, right? And so it's fine. I don't have an issue with it. Since I don't pay for advertising, I often find that if I just eat these costs, that person is then going to go tell people, hey, this guy took care of me. He did great work, right?
Grassroots way to do it.
Yeah, because you know, you do a good job for somebody, you know, they might say something about you. They might recommend your service. If you do a bad job, they're telling everybody and their mother, right?
You've heard of Supercar Guys in Wichita.
Yeah.
The brand ambassador, the guy that created that whole marketing campaign, did it so they would be hated because of a European market study.
Okay.
A European company decided to be the most hated brand in Europe, and they blew up. And it was a big experiment because bad news travels faster than good news.
Yes. Yep.
And so literally Supercar Guys that blew up, and everyone hated the commercials, hated just annoying as all get out.
I could be wrong here. And this might be more bad news. I'm pretty sure the actor in that
that's who. Yeah.
Didn't he get caught for like some hardcore drugs or something?
Just got out. He's doing a documentary actually. From what I see, he's doing good right now. But he got some bad stuff.
Good for him. Hopefully,
I think he is on the
track for recovery.
Yes, that's what he's doing and out now. But that's who it was. Actually, who I met with at that time about their marketing.
That's a very interesting. I could never.
No,
right?
no.
I'm very much
I
need you to like
character.
me, right? I struggle with that. It's like if someone doesn't like me, I'm like,
well, dude,
why?
you gotta have some thick skin already, though, because anytime you're putting content out regularly. And you got that amount of followers, and everybody that gets to that level, I feel like they talk about that pretty often, how they have to just learn how to not worry about, even if it feels like it's a large percentage that hate on you. And this is why, right? You know why. And why people start hating on someone is when they get to that you get to a level, you got to have confidence. It can come off arrogant, cocky, and there's just some people, unfortunately, that don't like seeing other people ahead of them. And so it's a lot easier to tear people down and find something to hate on.
I always tell people it's typically not a reflection of you; it's a reflection of that person, right? Like when they're saying something bad to you, they're actually pointing in the mirror and saying something bad about themselves. Because you know, a rational, sane person is not going to just tear someone down for no reason, right?
No.
Like if I see something I don't like, there's been like 1 or 2 times where, probably more than that, where I'll start to type something and I'll be like, wait a minute, I'm not an asshole, right? And I'll delete it and I'll just swipe because it costs nothing to just swipe, right?
Yeah.
And I often find myself leaving positive comments where I can, right? Because I think really positivity just wins at the end of the day.
And some of the best negative, like the trolls, the best responses to trolls I've ever seen are when somebody responds with kindness,
right,
to the point where they have nothing else they can say. Like you just kind of, what do you do at that point? They already looked like a jerk. And then if you come in and you're just over the top kind because you got nothing to lose, you are obviously having a bad day. And this isn't about me. So I'm going to respond in a way that,
typically
reminds you that
makes them even more mad most of the time.
Oh, it does. But then everybody rallies around you.
Yeah.
That's the psychology of it, I think. Well, that's crazy. So talk to me about from the organic side, are you monetized on any channels? Have you learned anything on that in the last 5 years?
Yeah, so I am monetized on YouTube. I'm monetized on Facebook. Instagram doesn't monetize unless they had like the stars or the gifts that you can get or whatever.
Gotcha.
And
They
then
basically have to give you money.
and then TikTok, I was monetized, but they changed it and they're like, you're a business and you're not a creator anymore. You're a business, and so you can't make any money. I mean, I'm going to say this. I'm going to sound like a dirtbag. It wasn't substantial. It was like $2,000 to $3,000 a month, which to most people, like that. I mean, do the math, right? That's 25,000.
I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, here's the thing: is like, yes, I am a business, but like a lot of my content is also just to entertain as well. But, anyways, whatever. Take it from me, give it to somebody, as long as they're giving it to somebody else and not just putting it back in their own.
So you get zero from TikTok because you are a business,
correct,
not a creator. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know they separated that.
I think a lot of that starts with like the TikTok shop. So I do sell quite a bit on there. And so I really think that that's where they kind of like draw the line.
That makes sense. Yeah, because then you have affiliates that can also promote your products, and they've got a pretty cool ecosystem in there as far as selling product on the shop and the affiliate. I know some people that have had some luck with that, giving a free product and then people being ambassadors, and they're held accountable by, like, there's software now that holds affiliates accountable.
I actually don't allow people to do that for my stuff. And
yours is such a niche.
It's so niche, and like people did do it. Like I never gave it away for free, but like I did give, like, for a while. Like, unless you specifically say I don't want people to do this, it gives the option when you list a product for someone to do that. So it's a setting you have to go change. But it just got to the point to where I don't remember why. It was like somehow it was negatively impacting me. So I was just like, I'm not gonna allow for that option. Yeah. And it wasn't bringing in anything extra, really.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So which, because all this is fascinating to me, and I think there's a lot of anybody young that's going to watch this is right. There's a lot of people just chasing being a influencer, getting monetized, getting brand deals, which is obviously not the core of your business, but between YouTube, Facebook, like, what's your biggest monetization channel? You don't have to share numbers.
No, I mean, it's not a lot. None of them really do that much, right? Yeah. So like, I think my biggest month ever on Facebook, and this is with getting like 10 or 12 million views or 14 million views in 1 month, was only like $4,000 or something. I would say on average, Facebook and YouTube, maybe 1,200, 1,500, maybe 2,000 on the typical month.
That's cool though.
I mean it's better than nothing.
Right. Well, it just helps you reinvest in marketing is kind of where my head is as a business. You can look at that money and say, well, I should probably up my game on this or invest in this with that money, that revenue source, just putting it back. Cause it's just a profit share of the ads they're making money on you. They should give you more. Higher percentage. You need to go negotiate.
Like I said, I bet it's other like other parts places who are putting ads on my videos. Like,
that's funny.
I mean,
you're getting a portion of your competitor's ad spend. That's
a realistically
funny way to think about that.
I've tried to find a way, like, I know this is going to sound terrible, like, to try to find a way to monopolize like the parts, because what I'm doing did not exist before I started doing it.
Yep, that's how it works.
So I now work with the biggest distributor in the U.S., right? And we are now the #1 distributor of KitchenAid mixer parts. We buy more and sell more than anybody else. And these guys are like, whoa, what are you doing? We didn't even stock these SKUs before you started doing this, right?
Crazy.
And so we created the market, right? And there are a ton of these other places that sell parts that are now profiting off of the sweat of my back, right?
Yep.
And I mean, capitalism, right? Like, but it doesn't sit well with me because it's like I created this market. I'm disrupting $1 billion industry, and someone else is able to profit off of it. But it also gives all of those people that hate me a leg to stand on because they're like, well, you can get it for here for less.
And you know, energy. Talk about that energy, time, calories spent on that. What is that? What is it worth? Is it worthy of your time to figure out how to mitigate competitors, or is that not the mindset?
So I've already the plan is already in motion. So I am the only person in the world who has a demand for this mini mixer parts. I'm the only person in the world who understands the market at the level that I understand it, because no one else is doing. When I say I have competitors, they're not competitors. They're working on their counters
up and
at home.
comers.
There's not a lot of money in mixer repair, to be honest.
Right.
And all of these people are in, East Coast, West Coast type people. The overhead there is too crazy.
Crazy,
right? The overhead's crazy. The labor's expensive.
It'll always be a side gig, most likely.
It will always be a side gig, right? And so that's one of the other reasons they hate me is they don't understand the level of overhead that you have to carry when it's like you have multiple buildings, you have insurance, you have 20 employees. It's like, have you guys seen my payroll? Like, do you know this is why I used to charge what you're charging. I can no longer do that because you get to a point where it's like you have to have this, otherwise the business doesn't exist. But anyways, I am the only person who knows the market like I know it. They've made some changes to some of the models. They've discontinued some of the models. There's probably 80 million of these mixers out there on the market, and they're going to discontinue some of the parts. And I know what those parts are. And I will be the only person with the foresight. Matter of fact, I am spending my entire bankroll from last year. I actually just took out roughly a $2 million SBA loan. I told you I'm taking a big bite. I'm going all in.
Let's go.
I'm buying these parts, right? Because I know that I will be the only person.
Oh, gotcha.
Right? Some of these parts are already no longer in production.
Gotcha.
So we are actually we have the connection to be able to say, hey, I know that you're stopping these. We want to do one last large production run. If we do 50,000 units, will you make it for us?
Yeah.
And they are.
So you get past that point someday, which will take a while.
But it sounds like a lot. That's about 3 years.
That's 3 years. Yeah. So what's after 3 years on that?
Well, it's not after 3 years. It's after the minute we pull the trigger on this. I have manufacturers because I've actually invented my own parts. I've invented my own components, right? And so I have a manufacturing team, and the minute that we pull the trigger on all of this, I'm going to say, hey, here you go. You got 3 years, guys. Figure this out. I have to have it in 3 years. Otherwise, this ship is sunk.
Got it.
Right?
Perfect. Yep.
So there's a ton of parts that we're going to manufacture ourselves.
Yep.
And
overseas, I'm assuming, for most of that stuff.
Listen, that's a touchy subject, Manufacturing here in the US is difficult. Mm-hmm. It's expensive. The price per unit isn't always crazy different.
Yeah.
But the mold building is wild, and especially when I'm trying to bring out a product that, parts aside, right? When I bring out my own inventions or my own products, I'm bringing out a product that there's not a market for it. I'm creating the market. Mm-hmm. The product doesn't exist. And luckily, all of them have done really well.
Yep.
The one time I decide to do a mold in the US and the product flops, I mean, you're out immediately like $100,000 for a mold.
Wow.
Even for like something simple. Okay. And then they also want you to do a minimum of 10,000 units. So, by the time all said and done, you got $150,000, $180,000 in a product that you don't even know if it's going to sell.
And again, from my experience, depending on what the product is, if it's like aluminum, metal, if it's bending, cutting, or plastics where it gets really tough.
Right.
The plastics, and I don't know what you call the plastics, like acrylic or whatever. But those molds I've heard are nuts. I've never done anything.
Yeah,
like that.
It gets very expensive. So you can't even do stainless steel in the U.S. You can't.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
There is no stainless steel manufacturers in the U.S.
Gotcha.
Like I've tried to get products. I'm like, hey, I need this, and nobody does it. You have to do it in like a third world.
I'm following
type.
you now. You're not talking about just like a simple like add-on, like
No,
accessory add-on,
yeah.
like a full product build
yeah.
would be insane.
Yeah.
That'd be cool though.
Yeah, it is cool. Hey, one of these days I'm going to manufacture my own mixer too.
Yes, of course you should.
That's where I'm headed.
Mr. Mixer.
That's where I'm headed. But like we've established
it
is expensive to manufacture. Right? I don't have $5 million or $8 million, and that's like to just get the first 1,000 done. Like that's just the tooling for your products. That's to build the first 1,000.
But yeah, building for your legacy and what you're building, I think building branded products that can outlive you, or if you for some reason can't make video content someday, your whole business model changes. It's very reliant of your visibility.
Yes.
But if you can create products that travel as far as your face does, then you're set.
Well, the goal is like we've already established the model, right? Yeah. Luckily, we have this vehicle that is the KitchenAid mixer to prove the model and prove the market. Luckily, the reason I exist is because their product has, like all appliances, has kind of gone downhill over time, right? It's no longer a 30-year product, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of like is, hey,
secures your business model.
It does because all of these people that have these mixers that are 10, 20, 30 years old, they don't want a new one. No. They want to rebuild it because they're like, hey, if I rebuild it, I'm getting at least another decade. Like,
that's why, interesting enough, the washer repair, specifically washers, is a huge booming thing now. There's guys that have made a ton of money in their garage just fixing old washers that don't have all the sensors, the water, because those old timers on washers, those are outlawed. Yeah. You're not legally allowed to manufacture with that timer anymore. That allowed all the water to dump. So those washers will go for a couple grand aftermarket that used to sell for $500. Yeah, just because they can find a probably maybe illegal timers. I don't know where they're getting these timers, but I think they figured out how to repurpose other timers onto these units because they stopped making the part. But that's you're in a similar.
I imagine
position.
it's a very simple mechanism.
It is. It's just literally a timer. Like you start it, and then there's I can't remember what
something like solenoid or something.
Right.
That,
yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But that's an interesting. I hadn't thought about that for your business model. That's 100% correct. Yeah. Because if you can get exclusive to if you can hold on to parts and make parts that nobody ever makes again. Right. What? Yeah.
And not just that, but like when I do make my own mixer, I just do the same thing. Like I make a quality mixer, right?
Sure. Well,
I'll have to sell it for more.
That kind of doesn't work well for your business model. You need to make a crappy mixer so you can fix it.
No. So I would make it similar to so I think where KitchenAid has problems is that they have to sell a record number of mixers every year in order for their house not to topple in on it, right? I think, and I've proven the market for myself. I don't know how much. Premium. I don't know how much they make off of I don't know how much it costs them to build a mixer and what the profit is from, the mixer to the end customer. I know what my profit margins are, pretty decent, and I sit there and look at it. And it's like, why are they not using the Ford model, right? So Ford doesn't make money off of selling new cars. They make money off of the fleet of the hundreds of millions of vehicles that are out there. And they are selling all of the parts to keep things alive, right? Yeah. That's how I would envision my mixer coming to market.
They'd be so easy to fix. The parts are readily available.
I would make it sense. I would make it to where at the end of the day, a machine is going to break down. Right. A machine is going to break down. It's going to need serviced. I would do the same thing. I would make it serviceable. I would make the parts available, but I would make it something that you have to try to break, right? Yeah. I don't want it to be something that it's I was mixing a little bit of dough and it overheated or I don't want to introduce all of these tiny plastic components that can fail, right? I want to build something robust, and I think
just building something that's made to be repaired is a step above a lot right now.
So that's why I have a lot of admiration for KitchenAid or for any brands really that do that, because a lot of mixers, the reason I only fix KitchenAids Okay. One of the reasons, well, there's so many of them out there and I'm so busy that I don't have time to do anything else.
Sure.
But there are a lot of brands that do not offer parts.
Yeah.
It's a very much a throwaway machine, right? And some of them are just as expensive or not more expensive than KitchenAid. So it's like I feel like if you're releasing a product that costs $500, $800, or $1,000, like I should be able to repair that, you know?
Agreed. It's what happened to the TV industry. You know, there used to be TV repair shops everywhere, and there's maybe one or two left in Wichita. I don't even know if there's, I think one maybe.
Zeiners or whatever down there.
Hefners.
Still live? Or Hefners.
Hefners.
Oh, wait. Zeiners is the fishing shop right next to it. Yeah. Hefners. That's what it is.
Well, two things. One, my father-in-law came and bought a mixer from you.
Okay.
A couple years ago, refurbished one for my wife that's in our kitchen.
Still working?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a testament to what we do.
He went there. He was so excited about it. He met you. He told me about this last night, which was perfect. I'm like, he said, "Who's your next podcast?" I'm like, "Mr. Mixer." He's like, "No way." He's like, "Tell him I say hi." And
I love that.
I love buying that there. And he's like, "Sam, that's a cool setup." But yeah, we've got that mixer there, and then I 3D printed this as a ask for you. Okay.
Yes.
You need to figure out how to make.
I know exactly what that is. So I
know
know exactly what this is, and we are working on it.
Beautiful, because they need to be better than this. And I hate the cord. And so what this is, it's not my thing. It's just a free print on my 3D printer. But this will wrap the KitchenAid cord.
Yep.
And I hate when we move it under the counter. Like the cord is just
so.
What do you do with it?
Let me tell you. I had these, right?
Okay.
And
you did?
I did.
Okay.
But they weren't my product. They
Right.
were one that I was buying.
Yep.
And they're all made. They're just okay. So they're all made out of like a silicone.
Okay.
And so they're too flexible.
Right.
So when you go to wrap the cord around it, it flexes and it peels the adhesive tape off, and then they fall off.
I
Right?
assume when I saw the picture of these, they connect with that tape. They're just going to fall off.
And
eventually.
so my thoughts are I want to make it out of metal because I just like metal, right? I make several parts out of metal already that I have a few different colors of each one. So I want to make it to where you can accessorize, right? So like you buy this like Mr. Mixer
right
bundle
color.
and it has, it's like whether it's chrome or black or
how would you
copper
attach it? Like a self-tap screw?
No,
or?
so I think it would still have to be adhesive, but I think that you can, when you use metal and you use a really strong adhesive, the good news is that if the adhesive fails, you could just get a new strip of adhesive, right?
Oh, sure.
Those little, the silicone ones, even with new adhesive, they would just fall off really quick.
Yeah, I could see that warping and bending happening better. Which, like, even with like the PE TG or whatever the strong filament is, I assume eventually it would just break. But
I am working on one of these. Matter of fact, this is the product that I was talking about when I said in the U.S. it costs $100,000 to mold
it's
this.
Stamp one
yeah,
of
that's
these.
exactly what that was. So that's funny.
Yeah, because you kind of want it all uniform, but it's like my biggest like annoyance of any countertop appliance.
Working on it. I'm working on it. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you. That was my ass. Yeah. So.
Just for you.
That was just just for me. Yeah, give me. I want to be the first call. First pre-order.
100%. Yep. You'd be the tester.
I feel like you'll probably come on again.
Sure.
Because I feel like we have way more to talk about.
Oh, I feel like we have scratched the surface on.
But we should. I think there's a ton of topics we could cover that would be super helpful for business owners.
Sure.
And that's the goal of this podcast is just talking to people that have built stuff, learned, made mistakes, not specifically your secret sauce to your trade, but bigger, like the headaches you've learned. And your story is awesome, and I want to respect your time. And but will you come on again?
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
the future. Come up with.
Absolutely.
I have some other topic ideas that I think would be really fun.
I would tell you one of the reasons why I wanted to come on here is the level of production. Right, like I saw some of the other ones, and I was like, man, this is good production. All the other podcasts that I have been on typically have been like through my webcam on my
like
laptop.
on a Zoom call.
Like very, very bad. But I like the level of production. I think you guys are doing some cool stuff here, and I'm here for it. I'll come back for sure.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, kudos to Tyler Norris, our producer, and Tyler Brickley, our branding guy, that they set all this up for us. And I have no idea. I just know how to push the button.
Yeah,
that's about all I know. But no,
you carry yourself well. You do. You talk. You're eloquent. Yeah, you carry yourself well.
You know,
and,
no one's ever said that.
Yeah, no, you do a good job,
First
man.
time.
You do a
No,
good job.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. I'm excited to get to know you more. First time I've ever met you, and don't be a stranger. We'll stay in touch.
You got it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.